Andrej Stojakovic is in the transfer portal, and he may be being prompted in the transfer portal from the sounds of it. We can talk that through in just a moment. But this is Peja's kid. He's one of my favorite players in all of college basketball. He's just a really, really fun watch. And he was awesome at Cal this year. He averaged 18 points a game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 43% from the floor, only 32% from three, which honestly, as weird as it sounds, I think the one question with him is like, is he ever going to make threes? Because he's been 32% his first 2 years in college, which is just not as good as he is a shooter. Like, he's a great
Mhm.
shooter, but he hasn't made shots like a great shooter in 2 years in college yet. So I love this kid, though. He was a stud at Cal. They asked him to really carry the entire offense, and he did. I mean, on a night to night basis, he was the alpha. He was running pick and roll. He was shot hunting. He was hitting tough ones. He's got great footwork. He's got every sort of fadeaway pull up that you can possibly have in the bag. And I think the sky's the limit for him as he progresses in his college career here. One note, he started at Stanford, where he was not awesome, and he only played 22 minutes a game, averaged 8 points a game, and just didn't do all that much. And then did the whole Stanford to Cal transfer, little rival to rival transfer. Ends up at Cal, where he was really, really good. From the sounds of it, he's looking to leave the West Coast potentially. More on that in a moment. But what is your breakdown on the player that is Andrej Stojakovic?
I am not concerned about the shooting percentages. He is a really good shooter who has been asked, as you put, to carry really bad offenses that have lacked other options. And we have seen him do so. We just go back to the ACC tournament. He scored 29 points against Virginia Tech, shot 11 to 20 in that game, 3 to 6 from three. His last game at Cal was against Stanford. He had scored 37 points in 34 minutes, made 13 22 shots, 4 7 from three. Like it's in there. The issue is, and you kind of went through his bag and everything he's got, all the different skill sets he has. The fact he's had to show that, and the fact we know he's good at making tough shots, tells you how many tough shots he's had to take. Like, I don't think he's somebody designed to carry an offense a la an NBA superstar or projected first, projected lottery pick in college. I think he's a really, really, really good college player with an NBA future, but he is set. He's better suited to have somebody create for him, potentially be a number two option. And quite frankly, Stanford and Cal do not have that, and Stanford and Cal do not have the best track record of developing players. I think even at Stanford, you go back to the Jared Haas years, where I think his first year was Haas's last year. Haas was like a negative for recruiting players. I'm not going to hold that against Stojakovic.
I think that's fair. Yeah, look, I'm a guy that I think any Illinois fans watching this know by now, like, shooting percentage stuff is very important to me because I don't love like guys that are constantly we're calling them great shooter and then they don't make shots. Like, Illinois fans should be very familiar with what happens when quote unquote good shooters don't make shots. After last year, it killed Michigan season. For 2 months, they couldn't make a three. They had quote unquote great shooters. I don't like hypothetical shooters. And this is one of the rare cases. Like, normally I would look at a guy that is a career 32% three-point shooter on 233 attempts and be like, that's who he is. But why would we expect a difference? The difference here to me, number one, let's just be real about it. His dad is the greatest shooter in NBA history. So you assume, okay, Steph Curry, the greatest spot up. What do you call Peja?
It one of the elite shooters in all of basketball history.
All right, I'm hyperbolic, but yes, he's a Hall of Fame just catch and shoot guy. I expect that that should translate at some point here, but more importantly than that, just straight up, if you watch the tape of this kid, if you watch full games, he was taking tough ones. These are
Yeah.
not like catch and shoot wide open threes. They are pull up off the dribble, hezzy, here we go threes. So I think in any new destination, the goal for him, I think, if you want to be a championship team, should be to give him an easier role than what he played at Cal. And I
Yes.
think that's an interesting talking point where Illinois comes in because there's a lot of speculation this could be a done deal to Illinois, or at minimum, Illinois has prioritized this and is playing a part in getting him in the portal. We've seen schools before get a guy into the portal and then not close the deal. I'm
Yep.
sure now that Andrej Stojakovic is in the portal, there will be a rush of teams trying to get him. I also heard Duke might be involved here. So this is not exactly the easiest recruitment to win. But I think the game plan here for Illinois would be you might be our first option on the wing. You might be
Mhm.
our go-to perimeter scorer. And it could work. Based on what he did at Cal, it was awesome. But I would make the argument it would actually be a lot better for Andre if he could be a second or third guy.
Yes.
And maybe that could happen at Illinois. Like I don't know where this roster's headed. It seems like they've got multiple more pieces to get. But I guess do you agree with me on that point that it would be best
Yeah.
for both him and his destination if he's not the alpha primary guy at his next stop?
1000%. And that's not because he's not a good player. It's what we talked about. His game is not creating for others, right? His game is as a scorer, which he can do himself, but he's much more efficient when he's got somebody who can do that for him. I think an Illinois commitment would either be late in the process, maybe this drags out longer than it feels like because he wants to see what else happens there, or maybe in conjunction with a creator or something where there's a couple of irons in the fire he feels strongly that Illinois can land that may make him a second or third option. He may also view himself as that top option, but I think at this point, a transfer from Cal is almost kind of not conceding that he is not that, but I think is looking for a more winning opportunity. And he's got a high enough basketball IQ to know that he needs a lot more help than he got at both Stanford and Cal.
Yeah, I love the way you framed that. It's important to note too, like guys like to play the biggest role possible, even if that comes not at their best interest, right? So like there's definitely a possibility after how Cal used him. I would expect straight up that Andre's approaching this season like, dog, I'm a superstar.
You might notice there's a lot of lights on behind me. There's a big ring light I'm using to record this. You want to know why those lights stay on? Because of Underdog, because of these ad reads, people.
Yeah, we heard your feedback. You're annoyed that we keep putting underdog ads in the middle of our videos. Well, guess what? We got to keep the lights on and we need some people to sign up for Underdog Fantasy. If you like these videos, if you want us to keep making videos, sign up with Underdog Fantasy, use promo code SLEEPERS, and they actually have an awesome offer for you. You can receive up to $1,000 in bonus credits. 50% of your first deposit will be distributed in bonus credits, and you get a free pick. And Cart, I got a pick with Underdog Fantasy for this weekend that I'm already eyeing. We got the Pistons and the Knicks, first playoff series in a while for our favorite team. Cade Cunningham over 27 and a half points. I'm taking higher than that for my pick with Underdog. Promo code SLEEPERS. Sign up with Underdog Fantasy. It helps the show. It helps us keep making these videos for you. Back to the show. Like you're going to center things around me wherever I go. That's what I want to do. He might think that's the case at Duke, to be honest. And look, the reality is, when you commit to Duke that you're committing to a team with Cam Boozer, with 5 stars. It's the same reason we just saw Kentucky lose a target to Indiana, right? It's like, I want to be the guy. I weirdly enough think Illinois is a great fit for him if he does want that,
Mhm.
because right now he probably would be the guy on Illinois.
Yeah,
Where I draw
absolutely.
the line is just saying I don't know if that's the best thing. Like this kid rocks. I love him. I still don't know that I believe Andrej Stojakovic is the leading scorer on like a championship team in the Big Ten.
No, no, I'm with you. I think he is a second leading scorer, like somebody who averages 15 plus gets on an all Big Ten team because his team is really good,
Yeah,
but he's one of that team's two or three all Big Ten caliber players.
yeah, for sure. And just a really fun kid to root for. Like you
Yeah.
watch him, he's one of the more fun offensive players in the country. And I mean, Ralph, not to call another young man handsome, but he's got a great jawline.
It's yeah, yeah.
I mean, the hair too. Like he might as well be like an Abercrombie model, right?
And also like he's Peja's kid, and nobody hates Peja. Everybody loves
Right.
Peja Stojakovic,
Right.
right? So he's got everything going for him, other than the fact that he had decided to go to smart schools instead of schools that were good at basketball.
Right. I also want to say this. I know I'm laying out like, oh, it's not best for him if he's not a first option. Um, or if he is a first option. This is one I may be wrong about. I'm not like completely confident this kid can't do it. It's just I think truly trying to build like a team that's top five in the country. Like look at what Purdue's building right now. They got guys that should be first options as second options, guys that should be second options as fifth options. That's how you build the championship team. And to me, Andre has proven he's a high major first option
Yes.
on Cal, right? So, like, you don't want to be Cal. You want to be better than Cal. Let's just slide the pieces down. With that said, straight up, he is capable. Like this is one he absolutely could prove me wrong. He could get to Illinois, be a 17 a game guy, be first team All Big Ten on a team that finishes top three in the league. That's 100% in the cards here, and I think it's important for Illinois to prioritize it. Quickly on the recruitment side of this, so the buzz is Illinois was trying to get him like before the season even ended, just like putting feelers out. Hey, this is what's going on. Once he entered the portal, it was very clear we're going to prioritize this. That's the rumor here. Given all that has happened in the last 48 hours for Illinois, I don't know how up to date you are because you haven't been on the videos with me, but they backed out of the Dame Sar recruitment supposedly. Now, they might be trying to get back in it, but the rumor was that Dame Sar's camp was asking for too much money. Illinois got pissed and got out of it. Then they got in the Baker Mazzara recruitment, which is weird because he's worth more money than Sarr is. I don't have a good sense that anyone on Illinois' side understands how money works right now or how much they have. I have no idea. You can tell me they have $3 million left. You can tell me they have $8 million left. I can't tell based on how Illinois is operating. But do you think, given all of their movements this week, should they feel like they're in a good position to be able to prioritize and land Andrej Stojakovic?
I do. I do. The Duke thing scares me. I think if you're Duke, you pitch him on essentially like you come here and you are. Remember when Seth Curry transferred to Duke from Liberty? Different set of situations because you're not going from ACC school to ACC school, but you have a shooter who's probably was a first option, maybe better as a second or third. Was a really good player for the Blue Devils for a while. I think if you're Duke, you're selling him on that role. And I think Stojakovic is a little bit better than that role. So I think Illinois is has the leg up there. You mentioned the Sar and Baker Mazzara deals for Illinois. I think both those decisions may be related. By the way, one may have something to do with the other. I think there's still a really good spot with Stojakovic. I think if he does not end up in Champaign, Illinois did something really, really wrong.
Yeah, okay. I like that we're defining that on the front end because I feel like there's other dominoes that have fallen that we could have said the same about. Like if Dame Sarr doesn't end up at Illinois, they did something really, really wrong. And instead it's like, no, no, you don't know what's going on. We had to go this way. Like
Well,
let's define it right now.
if you put this out there where it's like, okay, we have the idea of Sar, or we have two proven guys in Stojakovic and Baker Mazzara that we would feel more comfortable with investing that money in because we know what they are.
Yeah, my thing is you're certainly not getting a Stojakovic and a Baker Mazzara for as much as one Sar. So that
Correct.
my fear is if Sar costs too much money, can you even afford Stojakovic? I truly don't know the answer to that. My guess, again, allegedly, shout out Coleman. My pure guess here is that Andrej Stojakovic will go somewhere between $2 and $2.5 million.
Yeah.
That'd be my gut feel guess. That is right below or right at what Dame Sar is asking for, and that's what Illinois didn't want to pay. Now, if you tell me Illinois wants to pay for Stojakovic, they don't want to pay for Sar, I would say I think that's a good scout. That's a good read if that's how they're moving. I just don't know if I fully believe they backed off Sar because they don't want him at that price point. I think they might have backed off because they can't pay that for one player right now, which I don't know that for sure. I've been trying to get more info on this. I can't get the info on this. The fact that they are trying to insert themselves in the Baker Mazzara recruitment makes me think they do have the money because otherwise that's Baker Mazzara is worth more than Sar. So to me, I'm with you. I think this is Illinois' recruitment to lose. It's been a weird start to the offseason. There's nothing that's been straightforward here. But the straightforward read here would be that Illinois is going to have every chance to land this kid. And if they do, 10 out of 10 A plus ad for Brad Underwood.
Absolutely.